Okay, you see this staining right here? This is where the lawn sprinkler system is hitting the fence. Maybe not yours, maybe your neighbor's. But somebody's lawn sprinkler is hitting this fence. It's going to cause it to age differently. This dries out like it should. This is wet more than it should be. There will be repercussions. This is negative drainage right here. Okay, the water, you can clearly see. The water goes towards the house. You can clearly see that this is higher than that. Where do you think water's going to go? It's going to go towards the house. Is that good for the foundation? No. No, it's not. Now here's something that comes up on occasion. Well, we got a couple things coming up. But I'll just start at the top. This is your secondary drain line, and I think my client is aware of this because there was a problem with it before. You look out the kitchen window when you see water coming down, and you know that you've got a problem. That's your secondary drain line for your primary. This is a continuous soffit vent. All these perforated holes. It's a continuous soffit vent. So I'm going to be looking for continuous soffit vent baffles in the attic. We've also got termite bait treatments. Okay. Now, in order to remain effective, termite bait treatments need to be serviced. Okay. Because otherwise, it's a bait system. So if the termites come up here to eat the bait to take home, okay, to kill the colony, but they leave pheromones. So termites crawling around, they can say like, "Hey man, this is a dinner trail." They come to the dinner trail. They come to the restaurant. The restaurant's closed, and they just give up. They're just going to go home? No. They're going to go to the next restaurant. Maybe they'll leave a new trail. New pheromone trail. Here's something that may or may not come up, but since we're here, let's talk about it. But these horizontal trim boards and the window casement, okay, all this is closer than 24 inches to the soffit. So Z-bar flashing is not required here. If somebody doesn't understand the Hardy installation instructions completely, they may come up with it might be a different discussion. But in the meantime, no, those aren't required. We're working our way around. Our rain gutters do not discharge water far enough away from the structure. It's supposed to be 10 feet. You don't have 10 feet. Well, what do? An underground drainage system. And then it pops out over here somewhere. But it takes the water away from the structure. As it is, these won't stay there. As it is, these don't take the water far enough away. As it is, it's pouring water right on your termite bait. Moving on along. Where do termites live? In the ground. Oh. What do they eat? Dead wood. Oh. Well, what's wood mulch? Dead wood on the ground next to your house. That's called a clue. That's called a clue. You just petrified this with termite bait. Now I get it. See that house over there? It's got a tree. The house over there's got a tree. The house over there's got a tree. That house over there's got a dead tree. But every house has a tree in front of it. This house has a tree in front of it. Probably a homeowners association thing. It's probably not an option. But a tree shouldn't be placed closer than 25 feet to the structure to allow for root growth and then the branches hitting your roof. And but the roots, you're supposed to have a slab foundation, a consistent amount of moisture around the foundation perimeter And this tree, its roots, will absorb the moisture that your foundation needs. And in the process of doing that, it's going to grow. And so the roots are going to cause pressure on the house. So there's lots of different ways to do this. One, right now, it's a cute little kitten. Alright, it'll grow up to be a big old nasty tomcat one day, but it's a cute little kitten. It's ornamental, it's decorative, whatever. But also, and a lot of people think root barriers are permanent, but they're not. But a root barrier could be installed to mitigate any problems that the roots would have. But you're probably going to have to keep the tree to satisfy the homeowners association. I'm just here to tell you that it's too close. And moving on along, because we're movers and groovers, we got different videos for all this stuff. I'm about to get it, but right over here, according to code and according to J. Harding Siding, I forgot his initial there for a moment, old man moment, but anytime you have a perpendicular intersection between the drip line of the roof and a wall, we should have kick-out flashing right there so that the water doesn't just dribble down this wall all the time. It kicks it out here just a little bit, keeps it off of the wall, keeps it from damaging the siding. That should have happened. Now remember when I was talking on the other side of the house about the windows being too close to the soffit, and we did not have to worry about Z-bar flashing over the windows and the window casement because it was closer than 24 inches to the soffit, and somebody might not know what they're talking about, but it was actually acceptable. That was a long run-on sentence. Gotta watch myself. I'm working for a teacher here. So this is more than 24 inches. This, we should have Z-bar flashing right there, and we got a little bit of cap flashing over that. It's probably okay. Okay, I'm not gonna, but we do not have our flashing over that. And Z-bar flashing, it goes behind the wall, and then to make the Z, then it sticks out, okay, and then bends over this to make it kind of like a little cap, like right there. But you should have flashing over that, and the consequence is that it's going to rot out in a few years. And you see it all the time. Over here, well, that's kind of. How did I rig that? You know what that is? That's level. See, builders, okay, they get grading, but they have a hard time understanding drainage. So this is level. And what a builder will tell you a lot of times is he'll say, well, if it doesn't dry in 48 hours, not this builder. This builder would not do that. This builder is an upstanding builder. He's not going to tell you that if it doesn't dry in 48 hours that he considers that a problem. He's much more classier than that, because that's not drainage. That's evaporation. That's swampage. All right? And negative drainage, it's like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, too close to the foundation. Grading and drainage go together like that. Okay, between the tree roots, the moisture from the lawn sprinkler system, and the grading and drainage, those are the most significant, have the most significant impact on your foundation. And I get it. We know we build them too close. Not your builder didn't say this. We know we build them too close, so we squirt the foundations with a calcide, and that stabilizes it. We learned our lesson, so that's what we do. And you still got bad drainage. You still got bad drainage. You got mosquitoes. You've got West Nile disease. This is a funeral. This is a liability. Then, not this builder, the other builders will say, well, let's just see how it works. You know, for the first year, you kind of get used to it, you know, and you're going to be pulling into your beautiful garage and going through your beautiful house and checking the mail out of your beautiful front door. You're not going to be over here with the air conditioning system all the time. And the builders actually, they know they build them too close. Remember I said that? Not this, okay. Remember I said that? There's a budget for correcting this drainage. And it's in direct conflict with their Christmas bonus. So they budgeted for this much drainage correction. They brought it in under budget because a lot of people didn't ask for it. They didn't exercise their right to have good drainage. and then they get the Christmas bonus, and everybody needs a Christmas bonus. This builder wouldn't do that. This builder wouldn't do that. And then, at the end of the day, not this builder. They'll say, well, our warranty company doesn't have a problem with it. Oh, your warranty company, huh? That's good to know. Well, who owns your warranty company? ABC. ABC? Well, doesn't ABC own you too? No. Completely different. Completely different. One hand doesn't wash the other. No, it's not like that. I'm telling you, you want your drainage fixed. Because in 5 years, when I come back, and I inspect a lot of 5-year-old houses, and I'm going to be telling the new buyers that the drainage sucks, and then I'm going to see the hurt look on the seller's face, on my buyer's face today. But it was always like that, or the builder told us it was going to be like that, or all these things, and I see those heartbreaking looks from the seller when the new buyer has been made aware of the drainage. I mean, it happens. It happens. Now over here, the ground should not separate from the foundation, so some of this needs to be backfilled.
This has been happening since we first moved in.
And proper moisture, proper watering too, but still this should be backfilled. That is called erosion. It's pulling away from the foundation. This foundation can float through the air, okay, but eventually you need static pressure. You need static pressure on it evenly around all sides to hold it in place, to keep it from moving. You see these holes like this? This tells us that this is a post-tension slab. They make a couple different post-tensions. I don't know which style it is, but it's still cool. Okay, you got steel cables that run through the foundation, and as the foundation is the concrete, after the concrete's been placed around the cables, they tighten the cables to an astronomical amount of pressure, and the cables actually kind of bow the foundation, and it's kind of like a Greek arch. It makes the foundation a gazillion, I don't know how many times stronger, but for slab foundation in North Texas, that's what you want, and that's what you got. So that's a good thing. I like to talk about good things every once in a while. Okay. Yeah, we do like good things. These windows do not need that Z-bar flashing. So far, it's only been the first one. But I will mention this for a minute, because some of my clients are from different regions. And in some regions, up in the Great White North, for example, they do not want screens. That's a fresh air induction fan for your air conditioning system. This system is a tight house system, and that brings fresh air in.
So that's when we enable that
so we don't
fresh air intake.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's bringing in the fresh air.
That's where your fresh air comes from, and that's what it's for. It's to prevent sick house syndrome. But in some parts, like I said, in the Great White North, they don't want screens over here because a screen could freeze over it. And this is an electric home anyway, and then it starve the air, and then your furnace won't work and things like that. Well, birds here. Our local codes say that we need screens on there. So if you're used to not seeing screens on that, well, I would call it deficient if you didn't have that screen. So, wandering on along, we're gonna have a whole video for the condensing unit. Hold on to your britches. We're gonna have a whole unit for the electrical system. Got a little more erosion just right around there. This rain gutter, just like the other rain gutter I was talking about, this does not carry the water far enough away from the structure.
So is this, so like I said, we outsourced and had to get gutters aftermarket. Is this something that we need to fix for the gutters? Like, do we need to have a longer extension pulled in? I mean, obviously we don't have a lot of space. So
you might have to go underground,
okay,
and then have a pop-up over here somewhere.
Okay.
So that would be one way to do it.
But we can keep this structure and just kind of add.
You could keep that, or they should have, see how this is this far away from the corner? They should have gone this far away from the corner here, and then come down and just gone down the driveway.
Yeah.
They could have just fixed everything just hunky-dory like that, and it would cost nothing extra, no digging, no blocks laid out, no nothing.
Do you think, I mean, because I do have a warranty on this from that person, do you think it would be cheaper for them to move this structure to drain over to the driveway? That's an option for y'all to discuss.
Okay. So I don't know how it's going to, all play out.
Yeah,
I'm just telling you how it should have been done.
Yes.
And, I don't know, like, if there was a discussion that said, well, I could put them underground, but it's, going to cost you $500 more. And you're like, no, we can just put them like that. And yeah, I'll do it like that. I don't want to.
We didn't even have that much of a discussion about it. So.
Okay. So that's Again, closer than 24 inches, so we don't need that. And we're coming over here. Our fence is kind of an interesting little bird. Okay. It's kind of hard to get in here sometimes. Okay, it's been cut once. You could cut it again, but you can also see how it's separating here. And there's a device called a turnbuckle. And you go from the bottom corner to the top corner and then tighten the pressure. And that pressure, just like on Granny's kitchen door or Uncle Bud's. But anyway, that would pull the fence off so that it doesn't do that. Oh, look at all that moss. Must be on the north side of the house.
Yeah,
Must need some water.
We have moss all along the drainage.
Well, that tells us that it's not draining.
Yep.
That tells us it's not even evaporating really good. Look at that. No. Just no. It's not level. I mean, excuse me. It's level or less than level. You got negative drainage.
Yep.
Negative drainage. Not even level. That's going to have a negative effect on your foundation. It's going to have a negative effect on your inspection report if you ever try to sell this home. It's going to have a negative effect. It's going to have a positive effect on the mortuary. You know, if somebody dies of West Nile disease because of the mosquitoes that came from this, I don't know. How much does a funeral cost these days? Just curious.